Welcome back to Pathfinder Kingmaker. We are on our way back to the capital. There are many things going on in the throne room, so in we go. Should also mention that my eye injury has flared up again, so my vision isn't perfect. The throne room is full of people. Your allies stand around the throne. Well, I think that's the throne and this is a table. But never mind that. We'll pretend this is the throne. Waiting in silence as you approach. The atmosphere is tense. Today you'll be discussing the strange and deadly blight that's recently struck your barony. The gloomy silence is only penetrated by loud chewing. Knock Knock has grabbed a whole fried chicken from the table and is busily devouring it, ignoring everyone else completely. Jod folds his hands on his chest. Well, now that we are all here, let's sum up what we know. We've each spent a lot of time and effort to learn what we can about where the monsters come from and what's causing this strange disease. I hope this conversation can help shed some light on the situation. Keston shakes his head slowly. We need to hurry. If we don't find the source of this blight and eliminate it, we may end up with a rebellion on our hands. Can we keep people calm? Persuade them to wait a bit longer? Keston frowns. Your Grace, it's hard to expect loyalty and obedience from people in times like this. They are looking for something or someone to blame. I didn't want to be the one to say it, but... Jod cuts Keston off with a gesture. People think you're cursed, Your Grace, and it would be in your own best interests to quickly discover the cause of the disaster that keeps claiming the lives of your subjects. Keston, are you still with the militia? The guard hesitates, furrowing his brow. Your Grace, I understand these people very well. They are tired of just waiting and hoping. But for now, I can guide their eagerness for action in a positive direction. I'm glad to help them avoid hasty decisions that could cause more trouble. At the same time, I'm convinced that a crowd of terrified villagers who've armed themselves can't truly be our salvation. This barony has a chance only so long as it has authorities and laws. My top priority is helping you remain that authority and that law. Keston takes a deep breath after the unusually long speech. I just wanted to assure you that I'm on your side. Jod, how did you come about these rumors of a curse? Jod bows his head. Each day I see dozens of infected, Your Grace. Many people have lost their loved ones, or fear they soon will. They all want to know what's going on, who deserves the blame, whose sins brought this blight upon them. Trust me, every day the number of people willing to pin the blame on you grows. They say you and your barony are cursed. Of course, I don't believe a word of it. This isn't a curse, but some disease, which has somehow manifested itself in your barony. Jod raises his eyes to meet yours. Trust me, I won't leave you until I find the source of this disease, regardless of what these poor people may say in their delirium. Okay, so let's summarize what we have found up to this point. Jod, Keston, and Tristian looks at you closely. Jod, the surgery showed that it was magic seeds causing the disease, correct? Right. And judging from the location in the patient's bodies, these seeds were ingested. It seems likely that they are initially extremely small, almost invisible, and people simply swallow them with their food. Once the seed is in the stomach, it begins to grow and cause the symptoms we have seen in our patients. As soon as the seed gains enough strength, it sprouts and turns into a magical portal. Just like a bud turning into a flower. Rastel, forgive me. Jod stares into the distance a moment. Something must have possessed me to say that. It really does look like blooming. Each seed tears the body of its victim, just as a flower tears its bud. Keston, we discovered that the Lamashtu cultists weren't involved with the monster infestation. Keston nods. It doesn't mean that they're innocent of other crimes, but the monster invasion at least is not their work. Hearing the name Lamashtu draws Knock Knock's attention. Mother is not to blame here. Told you. But who listens to me? Goblins obviously like having all these monsters around. To them, it's like a sign of Lamashtu's benevolence. Keston grunts. I'd say they are just excited by anything new that happens. I wouldn't be surprised if they are linked to this story somehow. But I doubt the seats were created by goblin shamans. Besides, a plan like this seems a little beyond the local goblin chief's intelligence. Knock Knock raises his head. Know what I think? I think Goblin King is a rotten lice scratcher. Shaman plays him like a reed pipe, babbles about Lamashtu, then plots behind his back. Can you tell me where these monsters come from, Tristian? The ones that appear because of this bloom? Tristian raises his eyes from the papers on the table. Undoubtedly from some world alien to our own. All the monsters appearing from the bloom are exceptionally large and strong. It would be rare to encounter such specimens in the Stolen Lands, or even on most of Golarion. But it is impossible to say what it is that lies on the other side of the portals that's intent on killing your people. Well, that's all I need to know about the results of the research. Keston and Jod exchange glances. Tristian continues to dig through the papers. So, the bloom's essential properties are strange seeds getting into people's bodies, which causes their disease and eventually creates magic portals. Now, we just need to discover where the seeds are coming from. Tristian, who'd been examining the map on the table from the shadows, gives a small cough. If I may, I've noticed an interesting detail. Well, 2 details to be precise. First, the seeds afflict mostly the villagers. There have been no recorded cases of disease within the city limits, except for those who came here looking for the cure. Jod nods. That's right, thus we can assume a common factor in how people are exposed to these seeds. Many villagers get their food from the same territory. Tristian slowly shakes his head. I don't think food is the problem. Take a look. He points at the map. We have the most cases of the disease here, here, and over here. The monsters mostly attack here and here. The cleric's finger travels down the map, tapping points along a fluid line. You see, the situation is most dire along the banks of the Gudrun River. Everyone examines the map closely. Erastil have mercy. Jod exhales slowly. Exactly, along the river. That must be where the seeds come from their drinking water. We have to go upstream and find the source of this blight. Knock Knock jumps at your words. Take me! Me! The goblin bares his sharp, crooked teeth. I want to settle the score with the king. Keston straightens up and flexes his shoulders. If you allow me, Baron, I'd like to take the lead on this. I'll take the best members of the militia with me and sweep the woods along the river. We'll look under each and every rock if needed. Keston muffles a cough. After everything they've been through, these people deserve a chance to discover the source of their misfortunes. No, Keston, we have to deal with this carefully and rationally. Go to your people and await my arrival. Keston casts his eyes down. You're right, of course, Your Grace. I'll order my men to get ready immediately. We will await your arrival and then make our move. Keston gives a short bow, turns around and leaves. Tristian, how did you find the link between the disease and the river? The cleric glances pensively at the map. You see, Baron, these seeds are not the only sign of something abnormal at work. Remember the ruins where we first met? The glade near those ruins, full of huge flowers. Glades such as that tend to appear all over the stolen lands. Seems strange, does it not? Especially if we take into account that the magic seeds and the portals they create look like flowers themselves. Jod even called this disaster the Bloom. I'd like to research this natural phenomenon, and perhaps... Tristian stops talking as loud. Hasty steps are heard from the main entrance. Keston runs into the room. Your Grace, we have trouble. The peasants are rioting. Ugh, that's the only solution these nitwits could come up with. Don't worry, Baron. As long as they're not setting fire to the streets, we still have a chance of coming to a peaceful resolution. If you allow me, I'll go and speak with them and do my best to calm the crowd down. And if peace doesn't prevail, your guards and I will stand with you. Let's go. I can hear their shouting even from here. That's dramatic. The murmuring crowd takes up almost the entire square. The murmuring turns to shouts at your arrival, and a stone flies out of the crowd and strikes the cobbles at your feet. There he is! Out at last, damn his eyes. Please hear me out before you lynch me. I know that you're tired and disgruntled. I am too. Day after day, I and my companions seek a solution to your misfortunes. We've saved so many from this fatal disease, and if the gods have mercy, we can save even more. So please, let us do what we can. Return to your homes, to your loved ones, and they need you just as I need your patience and good faith. The crowd before you sways and mumbles. People look at one another, talk in a hushed tone, shake their heads and frown. It seems rebels who were screaming and jeering a minute ago lost all their confidence. Finally, one of the peasants opens his mouth. The Baron is right. You really believe this? This is pure nonsense. Don't you get it? We could ram the Baron through, but it wouldn't change a thing. He's of more use alive than dead. So be it, Baron. We will let you pass, but don't forget we are trusting you with our lives. Find the source, save our children from this terrible sickness. Ragungar, his audience. Listen, I'm tired of hearing about bandits and thieves. My job is managing the army, not chasing pickpockets. Hire a warden, let him drill the guards and make sure your subjects don't make too much trouble. Ragungar shakes his head fiercely. Fine. So why did I come here? Ah, right. I was thinking, your soldiers need to sleep somewhere. It is time we build a barracks. I've brought a map. Can you show me where you want it? An unkind smile shows up on Ragungar's face. Of course, I'd build them right on the border. Your neighbors are restless, and we need to show them that we're serious. Some troops in their face is serious, all right. Let's follow his advice. We will place the barracks at the borders. Great! Ragungar rubs his hand together impatiently. Don't want to cross them too many times, or they actually decide to leave. Caledon, spare me a few minutes. You are the ruler of these lands, and I don't dare tell you what to do, but I just can't stand silently and watch what's happening behind your back. There are rumors on the streets of a savage goddess, enraged by your appearance in her lands. They say she cursed you, and now you bring woe and death to everyone around you. This used to be just idle talk, but now, when we are surrounded by so much death and suffering, the people are ready to truly believe it, and it seems that someone is playing upon your subjects' fears. I saw barkers in the streets telling citizens of a prophet who is building his own kingdom. According to them, the goddess stands ready to grant forgiveness to any who cleanse themselves of the curse. But this cleansing is accomplished through a terribly cruel death. Tristian gulps heavily. These horrific deaths involve a wild beast appearing from inside the body, and they think it's a blessing. cannot allow my subjects to be taken in by such nonsense. I shall deal with these provocations immediately. Tristian nods enthusiastically. Good. Perhaps after uncovering this mystery we will find out more about the nature of the curses hanging over the stolen lands. I mean, there must be a reason that these cultists shout about you receiving the goddess's punishment. If we wish to understand, we must find one of those barkers and learn from them all we can. Sadly, these street preachers scare quite easily and avoid our guards. I will begin my search without delay. When you find time, look for me on the streets of the capital. I hope that when we meet, I will already have found someone who can tell us more about this strange goddess and her followers. Okay. Does that mean we can recruit more advisors? Yes, it does. We can recruit a warden. Ekon seems to be the best person for that. And we have events. Opportunity and opportunity. Those are not so important. As for economy, we have border training camps. We don't have enough BP, but I'll just buy some. Border training camps, we probably need to use Rogongar for that. Although this, I don't want to put him away for 14 days. We can rank up, but we don't have time for that at the moment. Let's quickly check in with the storyteller. Come on. Some relics. Nope. Just get some gold for the stuff.
Forwards.
And we need to go back into the main square. And I'll do some vendoring, so I'll just pause the recording while I do that. Here we are. We need to head to the Goblin Fortress. Now, where is that? Should be on the Gundren River. Let's just move along. Not sure what's going on here. Other. That can be useful, but not now. There we go. And yes, we want to enter this location. This is probably a bigger location than the others, or than the minor ones. Indeed it is. Okay. We will make haste.
Who will prevail? Does it matter? We shall overcome. Attack!
There we go. Keston nods. His armor is covered with cuts and scratches. There is blood on his gloves, but he himself is uninjured. You are right on time, Baron. We were losing hope. No longer now that you are here. Further down the path, behind a palisade, lies a nest of goblins. We chanced upon it while heading upriver. I have no idea when these pests managed to build it, and so fast. We scouted it less than a 10-day ago, and there was no trace of them. Keston regains his composure. Whatever the cause, the surrounding area is thick with goblins. Only one of the scouts we sent made it back. He reports they have raised a fort of sorts at the top of the hill, around a totem to Lamashtu. They packed the fort with cages, with prisoners inside. We've managed to rescue a few of the captives. Others escaped and came back on their own. We've questioned them. They say the shaman performs rituals on the prisoners. We entrenched ourselves here to prepare for an attack, but goblins keep coming at us. They are not giving us a moment's peace. The way they are hounding us, we cannot protect the survivors and attack the camp at the same time. Keston turns to face you, his eyes determined. Only you can rescue the caged prisoners in the fort, Your Grace. I am leaving at once. I need to free the prisoners before the goblins serve them for dinner, or worse. There are plenty of options there, but that's the one we're going to go with. I wish you good fortune, Your Grace. Send the ones you rescue our way and we'll protect them. And I have to go. Two masterwork daggers. Here. At all of interest, it would seem. A masterwork short sword. That's about it. Okay, so let's explore this map properly.
I will guide us. Our path leads on. Stand with me!
Repent! Your life ebbs low.
That was easy.
Ouch!
Ouch, indeed. Let's check the area outside the fortress before we go in. Oh, it looks fine. Let's save and move inside.
I'm positive I found something.
Go loot. Disarm the trap.
Anything else?
Masterwork crossbow and a ring action +1.
Without a doubt.
Can you make an epic pose? I need
Lots of
inspiration.
goblins.
A clever ploy.
Okay, Caledon, how about you do a controlled fireball here? And a controlled fireball there. And then the ones of you who
Cannot
have
hide
ranged
from me.
weapons, please attack
Serves you right.
that
Strike as
alchemist.
one.
Good. Lindsay, can you disarm the trap?
Applause, please.
Good. Now we have lots and lots and lots of goblins to loot, but only a few of them have anything of interest, I think. Goblin Horse Slayer. Yep. These guys. seem to be within the range of the others. We can kill or we can open. We will of course open. And here we have a robe of air. What does that do? Electric aura. Grants +2 DC to electrical spells. Let's open that cage as well.
Forwards.
Continue our way inwards. We are making our way through the goblin camp. Dirty, hastily erected settlement built of thrush and mortared with what smells like goblin waste. You catch sight of the silvery glimmer of water ahead, then suddenly notice a squad of armed goblins moving towards the water as well, shouting and prodding at a few scared peasants in front of them. Seemingly unaware of you, the goblins push the prisoners to the water's edge. One of the guards knocks the nearest captive, a decrepit old man, off his feet, and he falls to his knees with a moan. The goblin throws a filthy bent ladle in front of the man and points at the water. "Drink, fast!" The old man picks the ladle with shaking hands, then stops, quivering with fear. Without a word, Ekon frowns and pulls an arrow from his quiver. Attack the goblins. Hearing your approach, the goblins whirl, see you, and start shrieking. Whether fear or battle cries, you cannot tell. In the heat of the moment, one of them drops his spear, another steps on the foot of the goblin next to him, and so it goes, causing a ripple of chaos to pass through their ranks. The old man, startled by the noise, drops the ladle into the water and then, in the confusion, staggers to his feet and breaks into a run. The other prisoners follow, leaving the hapless guards howling in anger.
Wait for me.
What a waste.
Tear them apart!
That's those goblins dealt with. 2 masterwork daggers. Another 2 masterwork daggers. And 2 composite short bows. This cage seems empty. The ground here is soaked. Let's quick save again.
We march ahead.
Keep moving up. The wounds on the man's body were left by goblin spears. A masterwork short bow, a ring called the energy source. Now I wonder what that is. If the wearer of this ring has the ability to channel energy, it allows them to do it 2 additional times per day. You can have that, Arim. More goblins. Goblin
Will
Commander.
they ever learn?
I'm leading you out
Do
of our
not
sword.
hold back. Expose.
There's really a lot of goblins.
They go down! Use of my clever ploy.
There we go.
Ow.
Ow! Indeed. Let's loot. Masterwork daggers. Masterwork short sword. Masterwork daggers. Composite short bow. Masterwork light crossbow. And then these in here. Masterwork light crossbow and a few composite short bows.
Without a doubt.
My search was not in vain.
Bunch of scrolls. The crude fence is made out of splintered logs crudely tied together with reed
I
rope.
will guide us.
Oh, I don't like surprises.
Applause, please.
Expect there'll be more goblins in here somewhere. Yep.
Ha! Primitives.
Your strength wasted.
Become mad dust.
Fewer than I expected, though. Masterwork short sword. Skin the wolf. Grab the daggers. Let's let out the prisoners. Tigni Juspert. Who is that? You! Yes, you there. Let me out of here. Come on, move it. Are you waiting for the entire goblin horde to show? I've had to deal with dozens of goblins on my way here, so a few more are of little concern. Who are you? A corpulent man in a ragged jacket and worn-out trousers is in the cage, his hands tight on the bars as if trying to throttle them. Tigni Juspert, a free merchant. Now that formalities are out of the way, can you see about setting me free? Don't let him out. He's a scoundrel. He never misses a chance to fleece honest, hard-working folk, and he even shakes down the refugees. He has no shame. You had it coming, wretch. Where are your thugs now, Tigni? Having a hard time sleeping on the dung mat? Let him rot in this cage or in a goblin's belly, I don't care. No, don't listen to them. I've no idea what they're on about. Would you let an innocent man die because of lies and gossip? What were the others talking about? Did you cheat those people? What? No, nothing of the like. Slander and nonsense, all of it. Tigni shakes his head and forces a smile, but the perspiration of his forehead exposes the lie. Be silent. Of course I'm setting you free. Calm down and I'll let me deal with the lock, will you? Apparently he doesn't want to come back, which is a good thing, I suppose. Let's continue exploring over here. Should be reaching the top of this place very soon. Why is there something to loot over there? Oh, I almost missed that. Good thing that I check the map every now and then.
We will prevail.
No.
Will they ever learn?
Oh. Bother. Okay, 2 masterwork daggers, composite short bow, skin the wolf. Guess we'll have to go around then. Can't. Okay.
Our path leads on.
Ekin seems to be affected by this stinking cloud, but I'm sure it'll be fine.
Anything else?
those. A drunken goblin.
Look ahead.
Belly on fire, head be stone, and ground go round. Ooh.
Applause, please.
Stop. Look.
That. More
Forwards.
drunken goblins there. The ground is littered with shattered cups that reek of foul-smelling alcohol.
Without a doubt.
Escaped prisoner. Ah, Erastil, have mercy. You've scared us. You? Who are you? Have you come to rescue us? How did you manage to hide from the goblins? They haven't really looked for us, to be honest. So we just hid in these bushes, and were waiting for the right moment to make a run for it. What are you doing here? Hiding. We managed to flee from the shaman right after the ritual. That little freak almost drowned us. At first he was jumping all around us and waving his crutch, but then he took a pot of water and started to pour it into us. I thought that'll be the end of us. And then it got weird. The goblin untied us from the column, led us away, and then just forgot all about us. They were busy with the other prisoners. Well, we didn't lose any time, and now we're thinking about climbing down this slope and getting out of here. You haven't escaped. You were released after they've infected you with the magic seeds. What? You mean the water? No, it can't be. Stop scaring us. We just need to get out of this place. Climb down this hill and run away. The militia headquarters are located near the goblin camp. Head there, and once we have freed all the prisoners, we'll find a way to cure you.
My search was not in vain.
Applause, please.
Defeat is not an option.
Any last wishes?
We shall
I
overcome.
don't like surprises.
Let yourself exposed.
I can never open their own traps.
You see that?
I guess it's the wolf who's triggering the traps, so that's something.
Anything else?
A chest there as well. With a short sword. The dog slicer +1. That is a most peculiar name. Does this guy have anything that we haven't looted? Yes, he has a masterwork-like crossbow and a ring of protection. Ah. You approach a massive totem of Lamashtu that is surrounded by goblins. Despite all the noise you have made on your way here, nobody pays any attention to you. Right now they are busy tying up screaming, crying people to the totem. A few more goblins are standing nearby, shrieking fiercely and stomping their feet to the rhythm of a melody known only to them. The shaman emerges from behind the backs of his tribe members. A goblin you already know, covered in tattoos and bedangled with amulets. This time his face is painted with red clay and soot, and a necklace of sharp teeth adorns his neck. The shaman is holding a crudely painted bowl above his head and singing in a plangent, dismal tone that resembles a howl more so than a song. The other goblins pick up the melody and give way to the shaman, who is walking towards the totem. Interfere with the ritual? At the sound of your attack, the goblins around the totem spring up to their feet and grab their weapons. The shaman sees you and yells violently, throwing the bowl of water at you. Before you have time to react, he disappears in the goblin crowd, which in turn attacks you. That Tartuccio again?
Blood for Gorum!
A fine use of my talents.
This is where I suffer.
Okay, let's... do that. Masterwork. Masterwork.
We march ahead.
Scattered in the dirt are bones, bits of meat, and other leftovers.
What's that?
Goblin behind there
You're
and
but a footnote in
down
our
there
story.
as well.
You see that?
No strike wasted.
Oh well. No trap disarming for you, Lindsay. Everyone seems to love walking across them instead.
I will guide us.
Applause, please.
A wand of stinking cloud. Some foul. Another composite shortbow.
Without a doubt.
The totem is covered in blood and colorful blotches. And the stone is sticky with blood. The prisoners are still chained to the totem. They look at you with vacant eyes, as if they do not fully understand what is happening. Examine the prisoners. Simple clothes, work-worn hands, weather-beaten faces. The people in front of you clearly earn their living under the sun or in the forest. Apart from bruises and grazes, nobody looks seriously hurt. The prisoners are looking at you slightly dazed, and a shadow of the horrors they've been through hangs over their faces. Let's free them. The path is free. Go to Keston and his militia, and they will take care of you there. There are still parts of this goblin village that we haven't explored, so...
Forwards.
To the dust you will go.
Come on. Okay. As you approach, the shaman bursts into bizarre squawking. After a moment, it becomes clear to you. The goblin, choking on his own blood, has broken into gloating laughter. The Baron be too late. The will of Lamashtu came true. The bloom be happening. What will of Lamashtu? So she is behind the seeds and the monsters? The shaman's eyes, red, small, and wicked, have a feverish glint to them. And who else? The blossom seeds came down the stream. We drink. Boom. Boom. Longshanks drink. Boom. 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 Flowers grow. Great beasts crawl out. Lamashtu be pleased. I knew straight away what goblins must do. Go upstream. Seek Great Mother. The shaman convulsively sucks some air in and carries on with a weakening voice. Find Lamashtu's womb up the river. Home of great beasts, seed breedery. Leave guards so no one come in and go back. Make the Longshank skull. Taint more. Sow man death. All seeds be planted, all. Make it before. The light in the shaman's eyes is growing dim. Make it before what? The shaman's words become quieter and quieter. We be Lamashtu's sons, watering, seed sowing, readying for the season of bloom. All together, boom, boom, boom. The shaman emits a long wheeze and freezes, looking straight into your eyes. His dull eyes are lit by an evil flicker. The season of bloom has begun. You know stop us. Masterwork, Tenderloin, Talon Spur, Longshank Bane, Breastplate +2, Belt of Physical Form +4, and a Paragon of Winter Ring. Huh. That is a lot of interesting stuff. Could skin the wolf. Collect these things. I'm guessing there isn't much more for us here.
My search was not in vain.
Applause,
Dealing
please.
with the trap from a safe distance, that's good. Best of 100 pockets. Let's have a look at these items. The Belt of Physical Form gives dexterity and constitution. Let's give that to Ekondio. Then we have strength, dexterity, and constitution. Guess there is reason not to give it to Lindsay. Paragon of Winter. This ring grants both its wearer and the monster summoned by them cold resistance 30 and vulnerability to fire. Not sure how useful that is. For the armor, it's a regular breastplate +2. The vest of 100 pockets. Now that looks interesting. +5 to trickery. Let's put that on Lindsay. Better than the one she have at the moment, without a doubt. As for weapons, nice sharp edge. Yeah. Can switch out that one with a cloak of resistance +2. I think that's about it. Anything else around here?
Oh, I don't
Yep.
like surprises.
Anything else?
The cookery named Mother's Care. I'm sure that would be useful for Knock Knock. Wow. Announcement +2, Keen Frost and Finesse Wielding. That is actually very useful. Chest over there. The Torag's pendant. And that would seem to be it. Except we haven't looked at this road down here, although I don't expect there to be anything here.
Our path leads
What's that?
Trap, apparently. There is a chest over there, actually.
Applause, please.
with some braces of armor +4. That should be... If we give you these, do they do anything? Not at all. Your bracers are lesser bracers of archery. You have full bracers of archery. You have no bracers whatsoever. +3 obviously didn't do anything. Neither does +4. So no use for you. You have bracers of armor +4. Do these do anything for you? Nope. Doubt they'll do anything for you. Ah, they give you +1 armor. Which means, I guess we could take that off. No, that actually stacks. What's giving you armor? Ah, it doesn't stack with armor bonuses from a regular armor. That's the reason. Well, I'm guessing that this one is actually better for you. Yes, it is. I think that's it, so let's end the episode here, and I will get back to the camp where Kesten will probably want to talk to us. So thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you all in the next episode.